it's just completely.
Wait a moment, I can do me more loud, less loud. Is it better now?
Yes, I think so. Elia, can you say hello?
Hello. Is it
Okay,
okay?
I think are we all basically at the same level, I hope? Elia, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. So I
I
think
cannot hear
we can start. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Elia,
well.
are you speaking? I cannot hear you if you.
Daniela, can you
Uh,
hear?
Now I can. Denise, can you hear Elia?
Yes, well.
Okay. Okay. All right. All right. So we can all hear each other. That's great. Great that everyone is here today. That no one is preventing us from being together to talk about conspiracy theories, as it were. All right. So shall we get started? Are we ready? Is this everyone? Are we waiting for someone else?
It is everyone, I think. Perhaps Loka, but I'm not sure. I
Okay.
think everyone.
All right. Well, we are talking about conspiracy theories, and well, I think it'll be a very interesting conversation for us to have today. The first question that we have is, do you believe in conspiracy theories? And if so, do you think that they are really theories? Denise, let's start with you.
I think no, but really, probably people who believe in conspiracy theories think that it's not a conspiracy theory and think that it's part of real world or some kind of viewpoint. So probably I believe in some theories, but conspiracy theories, but I not think that it's conspiracy. But really, I think no, because I'm trying to be closer to science viewpoint, and it sometimes helps to avoid.
All right. Elia, what about you? What about you? Do you believe in conspiracy theories? Elia, I can't hear you. I can hear only feedback. It's just complete feedback.
Me? Now? Something goes wrong with my voice today. I don't know why. Is it okay now?
Now it's okay. Now it's okay. But when it started, it was just feedback. It was just distortion.
Okay.
Okay, but now we can hear you. All right.
So I think it's interesting mystic thing, but no one knows what is it. I think the first people who invented this conspiracy theory, they were Musons, perhaps. I don't know. And it is really so interesting because no one exactly know what it is. So that is my opinion. I'm not sure whether I'm right or not, but so something like that.
Okay. All right. Lyoka, you have joined us.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Welcome. We are talking about conspiracy theories. So we are going to ask you the first question, and that is, do you believe in conspiracy theories?
I haven't thought about it before, but well, maybe some kind of it can be. Well, I'm not sure. I'm a good who I am. I know who I am. Well, Daniel, I'm very tired today. I'm not sure I'm going to talk a lot. Maybe.
Okay. All right. Let it be. Let it be.
I don't know. Okay. I will
Okay.
just listen to you. Okay.
All
You can
right.
ask me, but I'm not very. I am not able to go very deep.
That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. I'm sure that's a conspiracy too. All right. Anyway, yeah, let's talk about conspiracy theories. I don't know. I think there's some things that are labeled as conspiracy theories that I personally don't see as being all that far-fetched, in that, there's some things that you listen to and maybe, okay, you've got people that maybe spend a lot of time trying to prove that they're true or trying to convince other people that they are true. I think that sometimes, perhaps when people try to do that convincing so much, or when governments or some other organizations or other people just try to shoot those people down, it maybe makes them or makes other people think that they aren't true when they might indeed be true. And I'm sure that sounds very suspicious and like I'm completely buying into all of this. But I don't know. I think that there are things that probably have a lot more scientific foundation and credibility than we actually know about, because of all of the people who maybe have made them into these so-called conspiracy theories that they are. So I think that there perhaps are things that we should be looking into a little bit more, but we don't, because mass opinion has basically blown them off as conspiracy theories, something that's just a hoax, something that's unbelievable, something that's out of the X-Files, crazy sort of stuff like this, aliens and what have you. But I think that, if you had watched that show, I don't know if any of you guys watched that show or not, but what you saw is that when you had these completely, really far-fetched ideas and sort of things like that, what you had too was maybe how those far-fetched ideas are the ones that maybe serve as a reason for the ones that aren't so far-fetched to be pushed aside and not considered to be real. So I don't know. I think that there probably is some truth in a lot of the so-called conspiracies that are out there, but I think that we also, as a society, are very skeptical of the validity of those. So I'm not going to keep on babbling because I'm sure I sound like some crazy person. But let's get to our next question, which is, do you think that conspiracy theories are dangerous? Look, let's do it with Elia. Elia, do you think that they are dangerous?
I don't think that they are really dangerous, but according to the meaning, the input of the whole message, the whole theory, it should be dangerous. Otherwise, it wouldn't be interesting. So I think it is not dangerous, but it should be dangerous according to its legend or something like that.
Okay, so you think you're talking about the stories themselves, but what about people believing in those stories or trying to seek more information about those stories?
I don't know. I'm not sure about that people, whether it is dangerous for them or not. Not more dangerous than believing in fairy tales, so I don't know, in Halloween, in Father Frost, things like that, I think.
Okay, all right. Loke, can I ask you, do you think that conspiracy theories are dangerous?
Not that much. I'm not a paranoid person,
Okay, all right. So be it, so be it. What about you, Denise? Do you think that they're dangerous?
Some of them. Some conspiracy theories, like flat Earth, is yes, it's some kind of city legend, and it's not influenced on society and people much. But some conspiracy theories are rather dangerous, like rejection of can't remember rejection of vaccination, for example, because now for some people vaccination are prohibited by medical reasons, but such people are protected by common I try to remember
Herd
immunity.
immunity.
Common immunity.
Herd immunity is the correct word. Herd immunity.
Herd immunity. Yes, protected by herd immunity. But if some significant part of people will also reject vaccination, we go to an epidemic situation. And there was few examples in England and in the United States. In some religious community, there are few local epidemic appears. So it's rather dangerous theory. Another one, it's not dangerous, uncovered dangerous. It's not so trivial, but atomophobia. It's afraid of using atomic energy to electricity generation. It's increase influence by traditional electric station, which used firing of coal or gas, is produce a big amount of CO2 and affects sometimes on ecology much than atomic station. But most people prefer them. So it's not dangerous now, but it probably become dangerous in some long term. But some other conspiracy theories, like staging moon expedition or something like this, it's really not dangerous. And it's more fun than dangerous, of course.
Okay, all right. But you talk about the fear of atomic energy, and the first thing that comes to my mind, it's like one word, guys, Chernobyl. I mean, we all know the fallout of that. We all seen it, and it's terrifying. I don't know if it's just the result of media coverage of the event, of the lack of media coverage of the event initially. You know, all of these different things that it's very difficult not to be, I don't know, maybe concerned about that. I think that's something that you'll see anywhere in the world. Just looking, that image of Chernobyl and the aftermath is just, it's haunting.
Yes,
it's terrifying, you know?
Yes, and it's a base. It's a perception base because, yes, Chernobyl is a big influence on environment in one place. But at the same time, all coal station, all coal industrial spread the significant amount of radioactive particles in the atmosphere. Because not all industrial, for example, in China, use good filtering in coal powered station and in coal powered industry. And in usual traditional coal, there are some amount, small amount of radioactive materials, but we should multiply it by amount of coal using. And it's not so trivial answer. But yes, it's a more simpler to percept awful of Chernobyl catastrophe, but it's hard to understand very small but widespread influence of some traditional way we influence on nature.
Okay, true. Of course, of course. I mean, it is, yeah, very valid point. I don't know. I mean, are these things dangerous? I think that you've all brought up a lot of very good examples about, you know, how maybe that sort of panic, and the more people that find out about something, the more distorted it can be, the more potential problems it can create for society as a whole, as we're all just kind of maybe suspicious and increasingly suspicious of the way that everything works. And we're maybe closed-minded to things that will actually make our lives better because we don't trust for one reason or another. So yeah, I mean, they definitely can be dangerous. I think that they can also maybe not just be dangerous, but also cause systems of government, of rule, of organization to be more comprehensive, because we are more prone to challenge something that we hear about today than we were, say, 50 or certainly 100 years ago, when basically, you know, when the authorities told you something, you basically believed it. And you can look at, I mean, it's a very interesting thing. You can look at, for example, I mean, how children, how babies, how infants are fed, or how infants are born, you know, if they're born in hospitals. I mean, or at home, you know, for how many centuries, millennia, were children just born at home? And then with the advent of modern medicine, it was like, no, you must come to the hospital. And that was seen as the modern and healthy and, you know, wise thing to do. And then you had mothers and children dying in these hospitals. Why? Because they weren't clean, you know? And it's like all of these things that maybe then people didn't talk about, people didn't question, but now, as we're able to look more comprehensively upon history and things that we've been told to do and have done without even thinking much about it, we are much more inclined today to think more. So is that dangerous? Yes, it can be. But can that also be the opposite of dangerous? Can it be wise? Can it make things more, I don't know, can it make them safer? I think that's also a possibility. So it's no clear-cut answer, in my opinion. All right, how do you think that the internet has changed conspiracy theories? Denise, let's start with you.
Internet change. I think yes, probably not some theories, but its popularity. Because before internet epoch, there was rather significantly small amount of newspapers or magazines which works around such conspiracy theories, such marginalistic ideas. But internet unite a big amount of people, and it's becomes simpler to find people with such viewpoint, with such the same beliefs in you, and it's that effect provide great growth of conspiracy theories. Because it's if you have a very silly and very strange theories in internet, you already can find people with the same ideas.
Yeah, definitely.
And
I mean,
it also internet helps to create some closed societies where people most time communicate only inside the society. And in this society, some strange ideas become a part of real viewpoint, of real way to perceive the world. I meet a few times such situation, and it's very strange. Before internet, that was impossible.
Yeah, of course. I mean, that is sort of thing. Oh, we lost Lyoka, didn't we? All right. Yeah, but that is true. With the internet, you definitely have a lot more opportunity to find people who maybe share the same sort of concerns as you do, to find people of similar interests, and to, oh, Lyoka's back. Hi. And what have you. So that is definitely something. All right, Lyoka, what about you? What do you think? How do you think that the internet has changed conspiracy theories?
Well, everything with internet has become more clear, like transparent. I think so. It is harder now to keep secrets and to play these games, I think.
Yeah, absolutely true. Absolutely true. Elia, what about you? What do you think?
I also agree with Loka and with Denise. And now I thought that the greatest, maybe the hugest conspiracy theory of the contemporary time, it's marketing. I don't know why, but it just now came to my mind that really marketing, especially modern marketing, it's really conspiracy theory. What do you think about that?
Marketing theory.
Yes, because marketing influences and really involves people in some games, in rules, in everything. So people become just like Muppet dolls, something like that.
Puppets, you mean puppets?
Yes, puppets. Sorry, yes.
Okay. All right. No, that makes sense. That makes sense. All right. Yeah, I think that, well, as people have mentioned, the internet just really gives us the opportunity to, find out information and find it out now. And it's able to be spread not just throughout an entire city or country, but basically all over the world in one way or another. And that definitely is something that we've not seen before, but now it is something that can be done. It's the ability to spread that information, spread it quickly, and spread it basically everywhere. So I think that just as it's changed many other things in our lives in terms of getting information out, whether it's news or fake news or alternative opinions on a certain matter, or exposing, I don't know, police violence or racism or, what have you, the internet gives us all the ability to share what we think, what we see, what we know, what we believe, and the list goes on. So it definitely, is an open tool that we all have. And so just like with anything else, it allows conspiracy theories to be spread much quicker and much more effectively and efficiently than they were in the past. All right, why do you think that the government feels the possible effect of certain conspiracy theories? Elia, why do you think?
Sorry, what government?
Why do you think that governments in general might fear the possible effects of conspiracy theories?
Because if we're talking about real conspiracy theories, we should understand that the aim of that conspiracy theory is to organize government in government, or some level which is above the government. So that's why, of course, it is very dangerous, and government has got fear against any conspiracy theories.
All right. Lyoko, what about you?
Can you repeat the question?
Why do you think that governments might fear the aftermath of certain conspiracy theories being spread and growing in popularity?
Maybe they try to control people somehow. Try to make people think the way they want to. Something like that.
Okay, so do you think the government wants people to be controlled, or?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Denise, continue, Loka?
No, I that's all.
You're done. All right. Denise, what about you? Why do you think the government might be concerned about these conspiracy theories?
I think it's a question with no answer. It's like, did you think that government fears the possible effects of internet or possible effects of science, for example? I think some conspiracy theories sometimes are produced or maintained by governments. I feel that some of popular conspiracy theories, like some hidden war with other countries, which are similarly popular in Russia, are inspired by government and produced by some government agencies. But on other side, probably some other theories can cause negative effects from government's viewpoint. So some theories yes, some theories no. I think from social viewpoints, conspiracy theories, it's like an instrument, like a religion, for example, not so global, not with no such well hierarched institutes, but it's also possible tools to influencing people to shape a society, probably sometimes. And sometimes such instruments can fire its owner on other side.
Okay.
As usual.
Yeah. Fair enough. Yeah, I think that's, very clear. When you look at conspiracy theories, when you look at anything, I mean, the governments are probably going to be concerned anytime people are going to question what the government or system is doing, right? And that, again, that can be if it comes to aliens and alien cover-ups, or it can come to things like systematic racism, which exist. Now, these are things that the government doesn't want to have to deal with, essentially. And just a second.
Daniela, you are muted.
So something goes wrong with the sound, Daniela? You are mute.
Hello, you guys?
Yes, we can hear
I
you.
am so sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Could you hear me before?
No.
Okay.
For some
Sorry,
reason.
sorry. I've got raw hot dog mess to clean up. There's raw hot dog mess all over the floor. There's, the juice from hot dogs. Yeah, it's quite big mess. Okay, sorry about that. Slight detour there. But when it comes to conspiracies and governments, I mean, of course, I think governments are going to be concerned anytime that people are questioning the way that they operate, and whether it comes to information that's being given to people, or like the safety of things, the functionality of society. It's something that the governments are probably not going to want to have to deal with. They are much happier, of course, when people conform, and when it's not a problem, when there are no questions, when there's just nodding of heads and acceptance. Of course, that's not going to be the truth of the reality of modern society, because there are too many factors that we're dealing with here. And, of course, that's kind of the reality of situation today. All right. Do you think that conspiracy theories are in fact just false beliefs? What do you think, Denise?
False beliefs, it's because to me false beliefs is a few different conception on different logic on different levels of human perception, because conspiracy theories based on religious way of thinking, or in idea that all things which are happens are maintained or powered by someone will. And such way of thinking was very important during human evolution, because according to some modern theories, the most important task which requires our brain growth in some many thousands years ago was a task of social interaction, social cooperation. And such way mechanism in our brain which helps to feel other people well, to understand its behavior, to use humanity-based way of thinking was critically important. And on other side, such way of thinking totally won't work well in zone of natural science. So if we think that only social interaction based way of thinking is a false beliefs, yes, it's a false belief. But it's not such simple to my mind.
Okay. What about you, Loka? What do you think? Do you think they're just false beliefs?
What does it mean, false beliefs?
Like just like not true?
Not true. Well, and what's the question? Do I believe in false beliefs?
Do you think that conspiracy theories are just false beliefs?
Well, in some percent, why not? Well, maybe, well, not. Maybe there is a bit of truth in these theories, but in general, yeah, I don't think they're truthful.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. And what about you, Elia? What do you think?
I think that today there are so many people on our planet, and with the help of internet, we can change with our opinions, messages, and things like that very quickly. So that's why I think it's very difficult nowadays to invent this or that conspiracy theory. Otherwise, it is very difficult and very easy if to think about some if to think about the time we need to spread this or that information among society. So I think yes, it's partly some conspiracy theories may exist, and maybe partly they're true, but I don't think that there is one global one. So, but I'm not sure about that.
All right. I think that there are some that probably are. I think there are others that probably are true, and that whatever organizations that are existing don't really want us to believe are true. That's my personal thing. So I think that, and again, I mean, you know, there are people out there that will tell you things that racial profiling, for example, are conspiracy theories. When in fact, if you look at the amount of people who are pulled over for traffic stops in the US based on race, you will see that it's, you know, far more people of African American race, you know, Black race. And it's something that, you know, you can't deny. And yet there's still people that are going out and denying it. So I think that it is something that we should be asking questions about. I think that there's a lot of reality that is maybe be oftentimes pushed aside as not being true when in fact it is. But I don't know. You want to call me a conspiracy theorist, or you want to call me someone who's looking at the situation? I don't know exactly how you're going to do that. Anyway, next question that we have is, just a second. Okay, the next question is there a conspiracy theory that you are pretty sure is true? Denise, can you share? Do you think there's something that is true?
It's hard to remember anything that I was pretty sure is true. Probably one, it's not a probably answer, it's some kind of joke, but some adepts of conspiracy theory think that there is some organized influence on society from a scientist side, which is try to reject conspiracy theories. And it's on other side, it's this idea is conspiracy theories too. And I think yes, it's really, it's not theory, it's true, because most people with natural science viewpoint think that some conspiracy theories is not dangerous, but affects on society in a bad way. So it's a good idea to prevent widespreading these theories, trying to present alternative viewpoint and so on. But I can't remember any conspiracy theories which, to my mind, was close to true. It's I can't remember on any conspiracy theories which can pass throughout Occam's filter. So no, to my mind.
Okay, all right, fair enough, fair enough. What about you, Lyoka? What about you? What do you think when it comes to conspiracy theories? Is there anything that you're pretty sure is true?
Oh no, I don't have any knowledge about that. About any theory that is true. Really, I'm not in this topic.
Okay, all right, all right. What about you, Elia? What about you?
I'm also not well educated in this subject, but I've heard that the global one, the global conspiracy theory, I've heard is the conspiracy theory about Rothschilds and Rockefellers, something like that. But I don't know. It sounds like mystic fairy tale, but I don't know whether it's true or not.
Okay, all right. I don't know. There's one that I'm going to talk about, which is very controversial. I mean, I know it is. I'm completely aware of it. And there's the whole notion, or the whole assumption, it's a conspiracy theory. I don't know. It's just internet folklore, whatever you want to call it. The whole vaccines cause autism debate. And I don't believe that this is true. I don't believe that vaccines cause autism. But what I do believe, based upon what I have spoken about with different immunologists and doctors and what have you, is that a lot of the vaccines that we are giving to our children and to ourselves are not coming from the same places. There is not a universal form of control or quality control on so many of these things. And, I think that, for example, in Russia, there's a big, not controversy, but there are a lot of people that specifically go outside. What are you writing, Lyoka? I don't know. Okay. Or Elia, you're writing something. But you have people who will go outside of Russia to buy European-made medicines or European-made vaccines and stuff. And like, why is that? They're like, oh, well, our Russian vaccines aren't safe. Well, what happens when in Europe you've got countries that are importing vaccines from China because they run out of them from their, local suppliers? This is the thing. It's not that a vaccine causes X, Y, or Z. It's the fact that not all of these vaccines are the same. And because of different economic factors or supply factors, demand factors, whatever you want to call it, the thing is that this sort of quality control isn't really as good as it can be. And the sort of modern reaction or modern response to that reality is that it's like, oh, you're just a conspiracy theorist. Well, it's not. It's like, I'm just asking you, where is this vaccine where is this vaccine from? When was it manufactured? What is the batch number? These are questions that nowadays, when you ask, you're oftentimes given like a raised eyebrow by doctors or anyone administering these things, whereas it really shouldn't be that way, and yet it is. And it seems like it's almost as though there is the opportunity or the ability to, have other problems. And then the thing is, if you ever ask a question, it's because of these sort of things. So again, I don't think it's a conspiracy theory that, vaccines cause something or other. But I think that what we see today is a lot of maybe excuse that's placed on that whole conspiracy theory to not maybe have things as effective as they are. Again, this is my opinion based upon what I have observed personally. It's quite interesting to me how veterinarians seem much more concerned about where their, vaccines for animals are coming from than a lot of pediatricians do. And that's, again, something that I can't just be quiet about, because to me, it's something that we should all be questioning, really, and really demanding quality. So that's my kind of concern. Don't call me a conspiracist. I just, really want things to be safe and efficient for everyone. So, all right, what do you think? Do you think that conspiracy theories are more likely to be believed in by people who don't conform? And why do you think that is? I mean, if that's the case, what do you think that the people who don't conform are more likely to be believed or not? What do you think, Denise?
I'm not sure I understand question well.
Okay, it's kind of a complicated question, but it's like, if conspiracy theories are more likely to be believed in by people who don't conform to, mainstream thinking, do you think that it should be of concern that those concerns or those people are kind of brushed aside and not taken seriously because they're not mainstream thinking? What do you think?
To my feeling, if we try to look on most of people, it's a common way of thinking is closer to conspiracy theories than, for example, science way of thinking or some artistic way of thinking. Yes, there is some link between conformists and conspiracy theories, but it's more in social plan, to my mind. So yes, to be on conspiracy theories position, trying to prove your opinion, trying to spread your opinion, it's need some part of conformless. But conspiracy theories, most of conspiracy theories usually is simply to understand. It's closer to mainstream ideas because it's like chemtrails. It's simply to think that different science on sky it's produced by some will or some goal, but not to understand well how the faster flying airplane can affect on atmosphere in a higher on a far away from Earth plane. So for mind, it's one side yes on social viewpoint, but on other side no. To be in some society which live in conspiracy theories, people should be more conform to some part of society, to my mind.
Okay. What do you think, Lyoko? What do you think about more conform to society, less conform to society? What do you think about people who believe in conspiracy theories?
You know, I'm so far from that it really just hard for me to think about it. So about these people, I don't have such people in my environment. Well,
Okay, Elia, what about you, Elia? What do you think?
Mhm.
Hello? Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you
Yes.
now.
If to make the question easier, how would it sound? So conform or not conform to the society or to the government?
What do you think? Do you think that people who believe in conspiracy theories are more likely to be non-conformist? Like, what do you think? Do you think they're more conform to society or less conform to society?
I think if people believe to some theories, they less conform to the government, to the official society, I don't know, to the official point of view, because if you've got some theory, it means that you've got other opinions, something hidden information, I don't know, some secret community, or I don't know, or what, some ways of development, or I don't know. So I think they are less conform, of course, but that doesn't mean that I don't know, what is it pushed. It's pushed by. I think that these people are also important to the society, less conform or more, but every opinion is very important to the society, because the more opinions, the more different people we've got, the more interesting, the better world we have, I think. So I think that every person is very important to the society.
Okay, I think that people who believe in conspiracy theories are less conform to society personally, just based upon what I have seen from people. And they're kind of very proud of not being conformed to society. And they're the ones that will say, stand up and question and do more. And, that's the sort of thing that, at least in my experience, I have viewed. All right. Do you believe in everything that the government tells you? Elia, do you believe in everything the government tells you?
Not really, not at all, perhaps. Because as far as you remember, I was born in Uzbekistan. It was far from Russia, far from that Soviet Union. I don't know. So Soviet Union was like theater in my society. So no one in my surrounding believed in that Soviet values from the deep of the heart. So everyone just pretended. So I think it came so deeply to my mind that I only believe in that very I don't know how is it called, um, 10 absolutely true things about not to betray, not to kill, not to rope, something like that. So the only things I believe in, but not to the government, of course. But that doesn't mean that I am not good citizen. I follow the rules. I think that they are very important and we need to follow the rules, but I don't believe to the government from the deep of my heart.
Okay, fair enough. What about you, Lyoka? Do you believe in everything that the government tells you?
No, I don't. I don't believe everything that the government tells me. Because, well, I actually try not to believe everyone and anything that I hear and I listen to. So that I try to check to check it. So it doesn't matter from what part I got the information.
All right. What about you, Denise? Do you believe everything that the government tells you?
Of course not. We have a long Soviet Union history with a lot of propaganda and a lot of other ways to make truth very relative. And also, it's it's not a joke that some people call current epoch as a post-truth epoch. Because now in any human communication, it's hard to truth to anybody totally, because it's possible to mistake, it's possible some beliefs, it's possible any other things which influence on people's opinion, on people's way to think, or on what to talk, and so on. So no.
Okay. I mean, I also agree. No, I don't. But see, it's really interesting because you guys are all so quick to give that answer no, but at the same time, you're saying you don't really believe in conspiracy theories. And it's interesting because, I mean, what exactly is a conspiracy theory? I think a lot of the things that we see and we kind of just understand to be normal and the way things work, it's, you know, it's just interesting. It is interesting. So yeah, I don't believe everything that the government says. I think that there is a lot of room for I don't even know what you would call it. You're expecting what is the government's job? The government's job is to have people that are content and conformed and not making problems. And, I think maybe government itself might be a bit of a conspiracy theory, not to sound so much like an anarchist or anything like that, which I'm certainly not. It's just I'm very questionable. I guess questionable. I question a lot. I question a lot about everything, about the way things work, or about the way the system works, about the way we function within the system, around the expectations of the system on us. So again, like I guess you can call me a conspiracy theorist, but I really don't see myself as one. I just see myself as someone who definitely asks questions and who is ready to push for answers because, it's 2018, you guys. We deserve answers. None of us are living in these super closed societies where we're just supposed to do anything we're told to do. We all have got educations. We all have access to the internet, which is, something that opens, as we've mentioned, opens our minds to different possibilities and to all this information. And I think that in this information age, it's very difficult not to question things, especially since we've got so much. Although it's interesting because then we get into that whole idea of fake news, right? Fake news. Sometimes people believe anything that they see. They don't even question the source of the information which is also a bit concerning. And I wouldn't expect that to be possible in this day and age, but clearly it is. So I don't know, any other words or comments or points anyone would like to bring up?
I think it's a possible topic to discuss. Conspiracy theories which you want to be a truth, or you think it will be an interesting thing if this theory will be a truth. For me, probably it's two theories I like. First one is world government, whole Earth government. Because to my mind, if it will be a truth, humanity will be closer to more effective way to do a politics, to more effective way to prevent wars, and more effective way to interact between different communities, between different countries. But really seems there is no world government at all. Another theory is aliens between people. It's about that Earth was visited by aliens, and some governments are interact with aliens, and it's also seems not, because there is no any technology proofs or any social proofs. But if yes, we also are close to some big technological and social change. And to my mind, it's a good way to speed up mankind development, evolution, probably social evolution.
Okay. All right.
And yes, other opinions.
Any other opinions, you guys? Anything else? Anything else out there? Possibly, maybe.
So it's question to all. Did you think some conspiracy theories is a good thing if it was a reality in some way or in some part?
I don't know. It's an interesting question. It's making me think, like, if it's, I don't know.
I think maybe some conspiracy theory with which is connected with the absolute power, absolute how is it called? Absolute, not value, absolute power. Yes. So some person or member of people, the certain amount of people who want to control the whole planet. I think it's the best variant of conspiracy theory.
Okay, yeah, control in that sense. That's definitely something that's, I don't know, you guys. Like, I'm just thinking, and I don't even know what to add to something like this. It's such I don't know. I haven't thought much about it. I mean, like, something that we wish was true. I don't know.
Perpetuum mobile. Some freak engineer think that it's possible to create a perpetuum mobile, but it's rejected by official science to help the government controls people, to help some rich people to control industry and so on. But if yes.
Okay, I mean, I don't know. I'm just trying to think. I'm really trying to think. I'm trying to figure out what.
It's impossible. We know that it's impossible, but sometimes I dream if it will possible. World will be probably the better place than now.
Yeah. I don't know. What about like those devices or those mechanisms to control the weather? You know, I'm trying to think about Lushkov's clouds, you know, that stuff to make the weather nice when there's a parade. You know what I'm talking about? Like, I don't know, is that a conspiracy theory or is that fact? I don't even know.
It's only partial conspiracy theory. There is some way to remove clouds in local territory.
Yeah, but you see, so like, I don't know, that's something that maybe people were saying when people first started talking about, like, oh, you're crazy, what are you talking about? But like, it's only partially true. Like, there is the ability to do it. And yet the initial reaction was to say like, oh no, that's crazy talk, when in fact it's true. So it's interesting, isn't it, that we're so ready to say that things aren't true when in fact they might be. It's interesting. It's interesting. I don't know. All right, I'll stop talking, you guys. I'll stop talking.
I think it is more close to the theory how to steal as much money as possible from the government.
Yeah, possibly. I don't know, you guys. I don't know. It's just interesting. It definitely is interesting that we talk about this. All right, so for next time, you guys, any ideas for topics?
I have one idea, but I don't know, will it be interesting for others?
Your topics are always interesting, Denise. Your topics are always interesting.
I hope so. And I try to preserve such direction. There was an intermediate election in United States a day ago, as I remember.
Okay.
And I think it's a good time to probably to discuss something about American political system, because it's far away from we have in Russia, and it's work in a completely different way. And people, to my mind, perceive politics in United States really in a different way. Most people think that them can influence somehow, and to discuss political system in the United States from social viewpoint, I think it's a good topic. Okay. And discuss some interaction between two partial systems.
That could be interesting. It could be interesting. Adia, are you up for that?
I just yes, no, I agree. I just want to formulate how can we call the topic? Is it a political system in USA?
U.S. political system.
From social viewpoint.
Okay.
So political system of USA from social viewpoint. Okay.
Does that sound good? All right. I think that sounds interesting.
I hope too.
All right. So we will plan to do this next Wednesday. Guys? Yes. Okay. All right. Sounds good. Any closing remarks about conspiracy theories? Anyone listening in? Anyone listening in want to give their word? No.
I've seen that there is a movie which is called Conspiracy Theory. Unfortunately, I haven't watched it before the conversation, and I can't say what is it about, but maybe it's worth watching that movie. I don't know.
I don't know. Which one is that?
It's called Conspiracy Theory. I just saw it before preparing to the meeting, but I don't remember what year is it and who is producer and things like that. I don't remember.
All right, well, it's something to look into, I guess. Yeah, it sounds familiar. I'm just definitely not knowing the. All right, well, we can think about it. But you guys, this was a great meeting. Lok, are you still with us?
Yep, I'm here.
All right, half asleep maybe.
Yeah, I need to go now to take a rest here.
All right, you guys. Well, it was great to talk to you today about this topic, and I think we were able to express a lot of different opinions, and yeah, always interesting to talk with Conversation Club. And sorry for that little mix-up. I still have to go clean up all that hot dog mess off the floor. That's not a conspiracy theory. That's just a fact of modern life. All right,
Thank
you guys.
Daniela.
I will hear you all next week. On Wednesday, we'll talk about the American election system, this whole social viewpoint of it. Should be very interesting. Good job. Good job, guys. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye bye. Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.